High challenge loaders. Okay, so I got your Perform Holiday Naughty challenges. Okay, some demos for you guys. So our first set, what we have is we have plank jacks and roll to stand. So we're going to do 30 seconds worth of plank jacks. Okay, so starting on the floor, shoulders down, away from our ears. We're going to go feet together. We're going to go in and out. Okay, when we jump out especially, we don't want those hips to drop down and sag at all. We want to keep everything nice and level. We can then adapt this exercise. We can use a step or a stair. We can come up slightly, still shoulders down. We can also step in, out, out. Instead, okay, if we want to eliminate that impact, and again, to make it a little bit less aggressive, we go to a little bit higher, a higher position. Okay, shoulders are still over top of those hands, body's nice and straight. We got 30 seconds there. Your second exercise of that set is a roll to stand. So from the ground, you're going to come in, we're going to sit down, roll all the way back, and then as we come forward, we push with those hands slightly and stand up nice and tall for 5. Now if we have like a little bit of an inclined surface, we can use that as well to adapt, where we come down, a little bit of a roll, stand tall, out of it, and we're going to do 5 there. All right, we got 5 rounds of those 2 items. Moving on to our next pairing, we're going to do a 30-second reverse plank. So reverse plank, we can have our fingers facing our toes. We can also have our fingers facing away. Right now, whichever is more comfortable to you. Legs are long, okay? I'm going to pop those hips up, push my hips up nice and tall. Shoulders are down, pushing my chest out. Okay, arms are locked out. I'm squeezing those glutes, using those legs, and keeping those hips up nice and high. I'm going to go 30 seconds. Now, to make that lever a little bit less aggressive, we can come from a little bit of an incline position as well. Find too, if your shoulders are a little bit tight, sometimes that position is hard to get up into, so you can come a little bit more of an incline and do the same position here. We got a 30-second hold, and then you're going to come down and work on a little bit of mobility. So we're going to start in our kneeling position, our toes are curled, okay, and then from here, we're going to go to a standing position. So we're going to sit back, stand tall, down, and then lower those knees nice and controlled. Sit back, stand tall, okay, and we got 30 seconds there. Now if that mobility just isn't there yet in our ankles and our hips, what we can do to work on that is come into a bootstrap. So doing 30 seconds instead of bootstraps instead of those feet to knee, or knees to feet. So fingers underneath those toes, elbows on the inside of those knees, and trying to bring that bum down as far as we can, keeping those heels on the ground, trying to keep our shoulders down, back nice and flat, and then extending those legs. Okay, and if this is our range right here, that's what we work on, so we can then progress to that knees to feet stand. Okay, so those are our 2 options there. We got 10 rounds of that. Your next one is a descending ladder. Okay, so from reps of 10 all the way down to a rep of 1. So we're going to start with our squats. You can take your weight, you can hold, if you have 2, you can hold them at your side. Toes can be ahead, they can also be slightly open depending on our mobility and comfort. Sit in that bum back, squeeze those glutes, stand up nice and tall. So we've got 10 reps of our squats. We can also hold, we just have 1 dumbbell, we can hold it in between those knees. We can also hold it at our chest. Okay, so we got 10 reps. From there, we're going to come into our push-up. From the floor, okay, pushing our chest through our hands, so we're not back here trying to do a push-up. Okay, push our chest through our hands. We got 10 push-ups. Then we can decrease that difficulty by dropping to our knees, bringing that chest down. And we can also come from an incline position with those knees, and then we can come from incline position with those toes. The goal is to bring that chest down as far as possible, if not almost all the way down to the floor or to the blocks every time, okay? And if we're not quite there yet, then taking a step back and working on that strength, whether it's dropping to our knees or coming from an inclined position. Okay, that's how we get stronger. So you're going to do 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 9 squats, 9 push-ups, 8 squats, 8 push-ups, so on and so forth, all the way down to 1 rep. Okay? With that being said, our next one is ascending, okay, squats and push-ups. Okay, so we do the same thing, but now we're going from 1 rep all the way up to 10. So we got 1 squat into 1 push-up, 2 squats, 2 push-ups, so on and so forth, okay? Our next pairing, we got 30 seconds worth of mountain climbers into a 30-second hollow hold. Now our mountain climbers, shoulders down, okay, hands, shoulders over our hands, driving our knees up through our arms, keeping that back nice and straight. We got 30 seconds there to make it a little bit less difficult. We bring ourselves up away from the floor. Okay, so we have a stair, a step, or anything like that, we can use that. We can also come from a chair or counter position, keeping those shoulders down. We can also eliminate that impact and come into steps instead at either one of those stages. Okay, so we got 30 seconds. Then you're going to come into that hollow hold. All right, so a hollow hold. Legs are out. We're going to come up. Arms are just at our side. Shoulder blades are going to come off the floor. We lift those legs up. We squeeze those glutes. Everything stays engaged. Shoulders down. And we're holding there for 30 seconds. Now to decrease the difficulty, because it is a hard exercise, this is where we would start. Knees are bent. We come up, lift those shoulder blades up, and we hold here. Okay, to increase from there, we extend 1 leg, then we extend 2 legs, then we start to lower those legs, okay, to make it difficult. So there's the progression there into that hollow hold. 30 seconds of mountain climbers, 30 seconds of hollow hold. We got 10 rounds. From there, we're going to come into our wall sit. So our next pairing is our wall sit and low plank. Wall sit here. We're going to find a piece of wall in our house. We'll sit down, shoulders are back against the wall. Okay, into that 90 position. We're going to hold that weight at our chest to increase that difficulty. Don't let those shoulders round forward at all. Stay back, using those quads, glutes, core. Okay, we can also set that weight down as well and just use body weight. Just try not to have those hands on those legs or leaning forward. Just cross those arms, stay them all the way. All right, so we got 30 seconds there. From there, we're gonna come into our low plank. So from the ground, palms are gonna be down, so we're not clasping our hands together. That rolls our shoulders forward. Hands flat, shoulder width apart. We're gonna kick those feet back, and those feet are gonna be nice and tight together. Shoulders are down, and breathe. Belly button is drawn in, using those quads, lats, everything's engaged. We got 30 seconds there. And again, we come a little bit higher into that plank, okay, to decrease that difficulty. Also, same thing, if you need a little bit higher from there, we can go from a higher position in the chair. Okay, so we got 30 seconds there. And we got 10 rounds of those 2 things. Okay, our next pairing come up, we're gonna do stair blasters. So if you got a set of stairs in your house, awesome. If not, this I'll show you what you can do instead. But if you have a set of stairs, you can come to those stairs, have your 1 foot on the stairs. As we explode up, we're gonna switch positions. Make sure that we're fully extending that leg and not coming into a toe tap. Okay? Stair blasters, not toe taps. So we got 30 seconds there. Now if you don't have a set of stairs, nothing, come in and let's do an alternating split squat. Okay, dropping that back knee down. All right, if you want to take impact out, you just come into an alternating step up onto those stairs or an alternating lunge if you don't have that step at home. Okay, 30 seconds. Then you're gonna move in to a plank shoulder tap. Shoulders over our hands, and we're gonna come in, alternating, tapping those shoulders. When we pick that hand up though, making sure that our hips aren't swaying from side to side, all right? The wider our feet stance are, the easier it is. The closer our feet come together, the harder it is to keep that stability and those hips square to the ground, okay, to increase that challenge. So we got 30 seconds there of those shoulder taps. And again, we can come from an incline position as well. Okay, so we have 10 rounds of those 2 exercises, 30 seconds apiece. Our last exercise we're going to talk about right now is our skate striders. Okay, so just on the floor, make sure you're not going to trip on anything. We're going to go side to side hops So that back knee is going to drive as I explode off that outside leg, using my arms, coming here. All right, we're going to go 30 seconds, and then from there you're going to come into a snow angel for 30 seconds. Okay, so on those sit bones, feet are up, we're going to extend out and pull those knees in as you come up. Now you can also put those hands behind your back for a little bit of support while you do those snow angels. Okay, those are 30 seconds apiece, and we got 10 rounds.